Hello, welcome to day 84 of a screenwriter's journey. I just noticed literally that my title card says screenwriter's journey, but that's fine. Just a quick update. We are approaching the end, as you can probably tell by where I'm in the script and how I'm saying that I'm generally getting happier with it. So hang in there. There's certainly not going to be 84 more days unless I get some feedback from some industry people, but I super appreciate it as always. So let's dig in to day 84. We left off once again. It seems like a lot of, as we get into the second part, Holly and Hogan, I think the relationship is developing. And again, I'm not saying romantic and, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking about this in reflection. I believe it's because Hogan did not appear, his character or really anyone like him didn't appear in my outlines, in my index cards. And because of that, until I started writing his dialogue and getting into the scenes and the interaction, I didn't know who the character was. And first he kind of started out as, the jokey guy and one of those kind of throwaway characters. But then I think when I thought of maybe his backstory, where he had been in the army and he'd seen enough, combat and killing, that he had more of a passive part. And then he sort of gets thrust into this more active role. And again, he's not the linchpin of the story or anything, but I think that's why, at least that's my justification for spending so much time sort of getting to know him. All right. So I'm just looking at where I am, and I'm kind of going back and forth between various scenes where he appears. And again, given the changes in the story, as I've said before, you get the ripple effect, the domino, whatever, where in this scene, something changes, and then you're like, oh, that's right. 4 scenes before that, I'm going to have to figure out this. And then 3 scenes later, I'm going to have to figure out this, which is, I'm not saying a danger. That's just something inherent in making changes. And there's really nothing worse. I'm sure there are things that are worse. Killing is worse. Stealing is worse. But then you make a change and then you go, oh, that's great. And then you send it out and someone's like, continuity, this person is whatever, and this doesn't make any sense. And then it kind of breaks the whole illusion of the story you're telling. I think you can dig where I'm coming from on that. So it's important, and sometimes it takes a couple days where you can go back and look at it and realize that, oh my gosh, this thing that happened in the first act, now that it's the third act, I've got to totally change something. All right. So they're at the what is now the safe house, I believe. And they're having the same conversations that they had, but I'm just trying to, again, tune this into the rest of the script. I guess that'd be a good way of putting it. And so Hogan's saying it's not going to happen until the morning. And because they don't really have an inside track with Rachel anymore, they no longer know for sure, or they have less idea what's going on. And so that's what Hogan is talking about. Their intel tells them it's going to be tomorrow because we think they're having a DNA test and that's how long it takes to get the results back. And I think that's 100% legitimate. At the same time, it's certainly possible, as I have commentated in a previous episode, that if you pay more, you can get things quicker. All right. It's a free country. I'm going through this pretty quick. If you have been no eager, what do you think? Yeah, so I'm tweaking this to make it a little more concise. I mean, even changing I don't think so to wrong, it really gets across the same thing in less words. which, as I've said, the more you go through your dialogue, the hopefully the less you get married to it, and the more you can say, well, does he really need to say da 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 when he can just say da da da, just like that. I mean, it's little things, but to me, less is almost always better. All right, so yeah, this is kind of a new little bit of virgin writing here. It's always interesting when you come up with names where they come up with, nowadays I try to, well, not necessarily. You try to make them sort of as generic and as or I should say as diverse. So, someone by the names Richards, White, Stoltz, Tanner, Matthews, Johnson, they could be black, could be white, could be female, could be male. And I have unless I specifically call out something because I've got an actor, actress in mind, which happens rarely, or I know who's going to be in it because I've already cast it in the case of some of the movies I've made, then you can write for that character and sort of specify it. But I very rarely, especially in minor parts, will say a black man in his 60s when it could be a white woman in her 40s, if it's a FBI somebody. I mean, Noble could be black or white, male or female, and I don't even know that I specify that. Hogan obviously has to be a man. Paul Adwell could be black or white, could be, any nationality really, has to be a man. So, yeah, for what it's worth, which is probably nothing, but just where you come up with names, I usually try to make them not too, especially for minor characters, which, I mean, I don't think these people have any dialogue even, just to give them something that you can just bang, bang, bang. People don't stop there. The audience isn't dwelling on it while they should be paying attention to something else. And then you get on with it. Anyways, I started writing that new scene and suddenly the day ended. So I'm super excited, as I know you are, to continue the journey on day 85. Until then, please like, please share, please subscribe. I've got I think only still one new subscriber. The ones I've uploaded so far, which it's kind of weird because it happened in the past and you won't be hearing this until the future when maybe you've already watched some others. But we're getting a few views. I'm getting a few views. So as I say, even if one person can learn something or get inspired or figure out something not to do, that is good by me. It's frankly a big time investment on my part, but have no pity for me. I'm doing it of my own free will. So, at least for now. I will see you tomorrow, and thanks again. Goodbye.